Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Alienware Arena Week 3 North American Winter Season. Tonight we do got a game ready to go, the UltimateGaming versus the Man Cave Gamers. I'm going to be duking it out here in a best of one. I'm the FourCourtJester. With me, as usual, Bird to the Word, or should I say Stream is the word. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing fine, yes, stream is the word, and it's been a really exciting EU matchup that we saw. That was a repeat of second week, which is whatever. It was good. Some good, I guess I would say throws if you want to go check the VODs for that. Hopefully you won't see that over here for this matchup between Ultimate Gaming and Man Cave Gamers. It looks like one of the people from Ultimate Gaming actually has to restart their computer. You know, toasters are a thing of the past, but sometimes they're a thing of them now. Hopefully that toaster will be okay.
That toaster.
But how are you doing, Jester, by the way? Sorry about that.
Yeah, doing alright. Been doing some league work all day, did some grocery shopping, hosting a party on the weekend. No tournament for me. It's all going to be eyes on IEM Cologne. Yep, that's the next big upcoming thing. Already see D-Man tweeting away about the ESL offices.
I mean, they are pretty nice. This is the second tournament we'll see, or third tournament we'll see with Joe Miller's head shaved, so that's really cool. Yes, and also, yeah, it's just really interesting to see how ESL has progressed since last year. I still remember last year with Jason, but I love you, like talking about trying to do this whole switch over, and then like I think it was January when he switched over to the pond to Germany, and was like, wow. He actually did the whole like switch over there too, so I was like more proud for him because yeah, he was one of my, other than you, Jester, Jason was one of my first like casters that helped me out just learn about casting and everything too. So yeah, it's really cool to see him doing some big stuff as well. ESL, Cologne, all that goodness over coming out.
Yeah, the ESL events are always a treat to watch. Just like anything on our side of the world, you know, you just get really excited for those big events. MLG, IPLs, and the IEMs, you know, a nice trifecta of stuff to look forward to. We are just going to have to wait a few more moments as we are having still that toaster issue, as you said. You got to flip the bread inside because the toaster just doesn't work on one side. Always a terrible, terrible thing.
Yeah, toasters are, yeah, one side is kind of preheated, the other side is just a little bit not edible, so we're going to try to just flip it over and be okay. I think Dragon's going to be here pretty soon. Again, Dragon toasting, all that goodness. So I'm pretty sure he's getting that ready just to warm up everything for the heart of this game coming up between Ultimate Gaming and Man Cave Gamers. That's a really interesting name. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got to give a big shout out to Man Cave Gamers. I feel like I'm an honorary member there as I am currently in my man cave.
Oh, the basic construction. How was that? Like I remember watching that. Is it all done now? Finally.
The construction, not quite. I would say the framing is about 80% done. We got 2 walls left there. Having an electrician come in tomorrow as well, and I got my custom desk already ordered. So we're looking good. Once the electrical goes in, I can just put up all my drywall, and then from there, painting and sanding and mudding. Oh god, the mudding. It's gonna not be.
Is it like I know you guys are in Toronto as well, or in Canada. Is it like snowing over there and stuff like that too, or?
It's kind of a warm December so far. Not exactly so much snow and ice, which kind of sucks because the ski season, when it starts up, you know, it really does depend on that cold weather to come rolling through. And I do love myself a little bit of skiing, so a little unfortunate that so far. It's looking to be on track to be actually somewhat of a green/brown mucky Christmas. Very, very much prefer a white Christmas here in negative 20 to 30 degrees. No problem.
Yeah, I still remember that when I actually visited in Canada. Like, it was still pretty cold / really brutally cold. So no matter what, you're gonna get that during the winter, even though if it's not snowing or not. So that's unfortunate to hear. Sounds like a California Christmas where you just have man-made snow and you try to snowboard or ski on that. It's really hard when you actually get hit onto the floor or if you fall or something and it feels like ice is just rubbing against your face.
See, well, when it doesn't snow here and it gets kind of warm, it's not like green Christmas for us with palm trees and awesome wind and beaches. It's just like more just rain and melted snow and muck, and that's just kind of starts overflowing everything, and then you got mucky water everywhere. It's not so fun. You know, Summer is great, fall is great, but give me my snow in the winter.
That's crazy, yeah, because like over here in the East Coast, it's sort of like that. Like for me, technically, yeah, I could do a snow when I could do skiing and snowboarding, but otherwise, I kind of hate driving in the snow. I kind of hate cleaning up during the snow, just because it's just a brutal task to do anything with snow. Just because it's a pretty good element to freeze over your car, or maybe block out your engine. So, unfortunately, for now, I'm not that much of a snow lover as well. But I mean, if you guys like winter wonderlands, I hope you do. There's some snow somewhere out there in the world for you.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the mountainous regions of Quebec as well as British Columbia are always thriving on it, no matter really what the weather's like the rest of everyone else. So it does look like UG Dragonmong has now joined up. Good luck, have fun. Maybe we can get this game rolling. And yes, pretty much on cue. They hit that play button, get rid of that, and bam. I think that's the right one. There we go. All the summoners are now hidden. So guys, welcome again to the Ultimate Gaming versus the Man Cave Gamers here for Alienware North America Week 3. FourCourtJester and the Bird, thank you all for joining us this lovely evening. And this is on, normal patch, the live patch, so expect to see some awesome stuff going down.
It's right before the pre-patch. You guys have seen the notes for it. Black Saber's getting there, but the biggest thing I saw from the pre-patch notes, Diana is getting really hurt off of this patch.
Oh yeah?
She is just like, it's not gonna happen for her. Like her ultimate range going down from 900 to 750. It's like Alistar's W range going down from 750 to 650. It's gonna be a really big leap. Other than that, the damage output and stuff like that, it's all nerfed down as well. So Diana, I mean, she'll probably be still a really good champion, but right now she's going to be in a really bad nerf state. And it's almost to the point like how Orianna, once she got to a very big point, now hit this really big nerf state. This is probably what that stage is kind of setting it up for. But going into the game, Ultimate Gaming versus Man Cave Gamers, Cinch, Blitzcrank, Zyra on the blue side, bans for Ultimate Gaming, Rengar and Malphite, maybe something like that.
We didn't have a third ban?
Oh yeah, you're right. There is no third ban.
That's strange. Okay, 5 bans.
Maybe for more picks, or I don't know. Or maybe there was another ban, but we just didn't see it. The Spectre mode couldn't see that's sometimes.
I don't know. We'll see. We're still waiting for the first pick here from the Ultimate Gaming, but Singed as a ban. That kind of feels targeted to me. That doesn't feel like a blanket ban that you see every day.
Nah, yeah, Singe not the greatest of champions to actually get banned out. That's very preferably picked. Let's look through the profiles over here, but yeah, that is definitely not a like Silicu-esque kind of ban. Just because Singe, I mean, yes, he is pretty unstoppable if you get into a little damage war with him, but the thing is, there's ways to actually stop him before you can actually pick up farm, and then you can actually just mitigate all his gameplay that he would have in the late game. So Singe, I haven't found the actual profile of somebody who plays him, but yeah, him getting banned, probably a target ban.
Alright, so apparently the spectator mode is bugged. Apparently it was a Malphite as a third ban. So let's just pretend right here there's a Malphite sitting somewhere in cyberspace. Okay, so there's no Malphite, no Rengar, no Shen. Some pretty solid bans coming out of that. 3 top laners and 3 junglers.
I mean, in general, just usual bans for the Man Cave gamer side. I mean, Malphite with Unstoppable Force, very Silicu-esque kind of ability that just really tears apart any team work, literally. So very good to have that ban now. Overall, Shen, Global Presence, Rengar, throw the hunt, double QQ with that savagery, not really the funnest. Singe though, yeah, that is still a really interesting ban. I haven't found anyone who actually plays Singe for this team of Man Cave Gamers.
Maybe Inverted Composer or somebody from Asia. Other than that, yeah, the list is kind of small on those main characters Singed. Either way, it looks like Ezreal and Taric are going to be picked up here. There was thoughts on a Misfortune. Fortunately, we are not going to be able to see that level of epic today. But Ezreal, despite getting hit by that nerf ban a few times between Season 2, Season 3, and coming into here with all the new item changes, still seems to be overall a very strong pickup. We've seen some really good work come out of some Ezreal matchups. But Ezreal versus Caitlyn, I think this is the highest ratio of AD matchups that I've seen since Season 3 was implemented.
What do you mean by that? Like, it's
As in,
just
like, of all the matchups I've seen, these guys are like
Ezreal and Caitlyn.
50, 60, 70% of all matchups. It's just kind of ridiculous how much I get to cast a Caitlyn versus Ezreal at this point. And we're only, what, a week in?
Yeah, I mean, Ezreal is still a really easy, such sought-out pick. That's why it is easy comp. But the biggest thing about Ezreal is damage output in the early game with Mystic Shot. Mystic Shot's damage ratio is like almost a 1.0 or 100% ratio for your AD. So that's a really big bonus. Plus on top of that, your masteries that can actually give you crit as well. Critting on that with your Mystic Shot is pretty big. So that's why people still play Ezreal. People will still play Graves and such like that just because you do a lot of damage just in a short amount of time, just with Ezreal and such. And that's why Caitlyn's getting picked up as well. Early game, damage output being greater and such like that. AD carries can become really whatever they want to. Although if it was a misfortune versus Caitlyn though, Caitlyn would have a lot more advantage just because of the range output. I mean, Caitlyn, one of the biggest ranges, and as an AD carry next to Tristana, full level 18, like that's pretty much the only kind of comparability. So that's why Ezreal probably works a little bit better against that Caitlyn.
So a few more picks since then. Looking again with that Taric, you know, a little bit of a damage reduction aura, get a nice Aegis or Runic Bulwark on top of that, and you'll be doing all right in that lane. But because they did pick out a Taric, we do now have a Nunu, very likely going to be in that support lane. I'm assuming it's going to be Jungle Nautilus, since that's about the only place I've ever really seen him. But I mean, we do have the summoner blockers up. We could have different roles situated here. I mean, Nunu could easily jungle. We've seen Supportalist before, Season 2. It's been a while since I've seen a Supportalist, but it's definitely possible. And now as they're going to solidify their last picks, checking out an Elise and a Cho'Gath. Now, I've seen some Elise play in Season 3. I'm favoring the top lane for her.
Yeah, or that middle. I've been hearing some inklings about Elise and Neandry's Torment and Spiderlings giving a lot of damage and such. And so I can see that's been pretty bad because the top lane for Ultimate Gaming is quite interesting. Because it could be Nocturne top, it could be Nautilus top, it could be even Nunu top. All three not really conventional top laners per se, or even Gragas top, truthfully. So that's going to be a really hard problem per se, because at least damage output is really great. Her Spider Form just gets you those kills when you win a close gap in, get that repel, and then just jump right on it. So I feel like the top lane, probably also the mid lane, Medcave Gamers has, but that bottom lane, if it is going to be Caitlyn Nunu, which I expect it to be, or maybe a Nautilus Nunu, or a Nautilus Caitlyn, they do have a really good advantage over in that bottom lane.
It feels like they're playing musical champions at this point down there. They just keep switching left and right and left and right. But all right, Cho'Gath as well. They're on the team red with Katarina. Anything about the patch notes about a Katarina?
I actually didn't check for Katarina. I'm pretty sure she did get hit with a little nerf at least, but I'm going to check that out right now. But overall, it's, yeah, pretty standard kind of gaming for standard kind of team for Man Cave Gamers. Other than Elise, picking this is going to have to come from Cho'Gath from the team, and then probably Runic Bulwark will be added on for the Taric. So overall, I feel like Man Cave Gamers has a traditionally more standard kind of solid lineup. While on Ultimate Gaming, it depends on the ganks, because there's a lot of heavy ganking that could happen between all three kind of lanes.
All right, so now we got to make a decision. It's going to be a jungle Nocturne, but we have seen Supportalist, we've seen support Nunu. I've never actually really seen Nautilus in a solo lane, so I'm more inclined to say now it's going to be more of a tanky, sustained Nunu top lane.
It's probably actually going to be the top Nautilus, I believe.
But I don't, like, in a solo capacity, does he actually even like function?
So, if you guys know the old team Dirt Nav Gaming, which is now there's like a million names for them. They got changed. Last time was MME Imperium. They used to main Nautilus mid with AP and stuff. Yeah, because there's a lot of disruption. You can get easy ganks with it, and you can do a lot of damage output because the AP ratios, even though they're not the greatest, they're pretty good. And then you have 3 or 4 stuns pretty much all together with his root on his passive, his ultimate, his E, and his Q. Like literally, you have no way of not missing a gank over there. So with Dragon Man gonna have that Nocturne ultimate or jungle as well, it's gonna be really good. But that's Nautilus mid. Nautilus top, is a little bit different because it's the farthest point to actually gank over top lane for a jungle. I don't know if that's the best decision per se, to have Loxer hit that Nautilus top, but again, against the possibly, if it's mid, it's going to be against Katarina, which is really a bad matchup. If it's Elise, it'd be kind of a bad matchup as well. So I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a hard matchup anyway, no matter what for Loxer 87. But if it is, he kind of has to know his matchup.
Holy cow, 34 passive armor on Loxter 87. I suspect he will be heading top lane with that Nautilus, but 34 armor, 12 magic resist, and a 127-2 on the masteries. Yeah, Loxter is looking to tank right up. My goodness.
I believe this is probably one of these first items. Ice Pro Gremlins probably would be a great item to get first because you're going to lock him in that CC. And on top of that, give him CDR, mana, and armor, which is what he has a lot of, per se.
Well, the problem is that both Elise and Katarina are AP champs. So all that plus armor, maybe not going to be so good. I took a look at Battle Rock, is running some magic penetration and the AP masteries with a little bit of utility in there. So maybe not the best call to go plus armor for against two APs, but at the same time, we're going to have to see how well they are going to do. Is it going to be that mid Nautilus? Is it going to be a top Gragas? I've seen top Gragas. I've seen top AD Gragas, believe it or not. Scar is actually showing us how it's done.
Top tank Gragas, top 80 Gragas, yeah, all pretty much the same thing. Just because his W gives you so much utility. I really like that W, the mana regen, health regen kind of thing. Also gives you armor and some other good stuff. So, yeah, I mean, Gragas in general could go literally everywhere. I know this one Korean or some kind of player. His name is like A0987, something. Yeah, it's like letters and numbers. But he only plays support Gragas, and he kind of wins like every game because of support Gragas. It's just
support Gragas.
Pretty interesting.
Well, now with Pickpocket, I mean, enemy spells get you what, 3 gold as well as auto attacks, or is it just the auto attacks?
I know. I think it's the spells as well. Because it's trying to teach you how to trade a little bit more efficiently. Yeah. So yeah, it's the auto attacks as well.
So
the
spells a lot of barrels bottom lane.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, here we go.
Sorry,
what?
I said a barrel of fun.
A barrel of fun. Oh man, them barrels, barrels.
That jester, I know. All right, UG, who do we got?
Ultimate Gaming, we do have UG Matt with that Caitlyn Nuna going to be played by Sujin Heki, I'm guessing. Abyssal Nautilus on that Loxer 87, Mr. Buff on Gragas, and Eternum Nocturne, UG Dragon Mang, Mr. Man Cave Gamers. What do we have over there, Jester?
Yep, the Frosted Ezreal on Crixade, the Bloodstone Taric on Ryokan, Bella Rock rocking the Death Blossom Elise. A very nice looking skin there. Nightmare Cho'Gath, why not Jurassic, but fusionistic, as well as Gillette 23 going mid with that Katarina. In terms of the summoner spells, we got 3 Ignites, 1 Exhaust, 1 Smite on everyone, and of course the 10 Flash rule is going to be in effect. There's not really a champion here that kind of excels with Ghost, I don't think. I mean, Singed, sure, but he got banned out. Jax, maybe. Master Yi, etc. And already that first competitive pause coming out. Client is bugged. Not the best of days so far for stability in the League of Legends.
That's unfortunate. It's probably, it's actually on the side of Pancake Gamers. That's unfortunate. Really quick, we do see the biscuit on 3 of the members of the team. 2 members on Ultimate Gaming, Man Cave Gamers having 1. Really interested to see that on actually Gragas. I guess you can go 2109 and you still get that biscuit, so you can get some extra regeneration. I've heard Scar as well talk about that. They want to start out in mid 2 wards, pots, and then Crystalline Flask as well. So we'll see the traditional boots 3 with Gragas, but it could have gone either way.
All right, so Mr. Nautilus, Mr. Loxer 87, first item is going to be Magic Resist. So maybe now realizing he's erred a little bit in terms of his masteries and runes, he's going to get a little bit more Magic Resist. So Magic Resist pots, first items, and it looks like he will be going that top lane considering we have a full inventory for our Nunu, and he's just loaded on up with just everything.
We do see like a point defense for the team of Man Cave Gamers. Well, at level 1, we just have Ultimate Game pretty much guarding out that blue. pretty much assured that Nocturne's going to take that blue buff first. I would like to see him actually take blue buff, probably get a hard lace and go right straight to the top, try to take that red buff. Because Cho'Gath as well needs to be a blue defendant jungler, and you can actually counter jungle Cho pretty easily because Cho'Gath is a pretty slow jungler. I mean, Rupture is really good, but it's going to take a little bit of a while, and he actually took Fusionista actually took Rupture instead of Vorpal Strikes, which actually makes your jungle just a little bit faster.
Really? Rupture beats out Vorpal Spikes?
No, Vorpal Spikes takes out non-Rupture, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to say. I don't really see how a Rupture could actually make it faster. But then again, I haven't extensively tested that kind of stuff. I leave that to better minds such as Stonewall. But yeah, with Cho'Gath, I mean, if you take a quick look at Cho'Gath's stats, he has 0 in all the penetrations and all the cooldowns, so I'm trying to remember if I actually looked at him. I'm fairly sure he's just going to be straight into the defense tree a little bit for utility, for example, getting the runic affinity up for the extra time on buffs. But yeah, blue dependent, looks like no level 1 will be going down. Bottom lane is going to be that support Nunu, so I'm, again, very interested to see how Lockster is going to perform on this top lane Nautilus.
He took Q first, which is not unusual thing you would actually want to take for a Nautilus per se. Probably the E as a lane Nautilus, but it's not that bad of a skill. I think he was just ready for a like a level 1 invader or something like that. Truthfully, for Ultimate Gaming, they should have probably tried to force a level 1 invade because again, Nautilus probably not going to have the greatest of times over this top lane.
No. Double AP is what he's up against, and you know, with that null magic mantle, he is up to 70 armor, or sorry, 70 magic resist off the bat, 56 armor, but still, those ratios, I mean, he's gonna be just literally defensive. I mean, between that and potions, he doesn't have anything really boosting that offense, which means poking down the enemy is probably not going to be in his best interest.
Probably not. I mean, you do see Cho'Gath going up to the top lane, meanwhile Red Bot as well, taking some bit of damage, but this top lane is about to have a 1-me welcome.
Maybe Fusionista going out with that blue is going to whiff out that Rupture. Do we actually have that Scream? No, still got those Vorpals. Lady Spider form going to be coming through, but again, no real damage coming out there. So yeah, he'll be alright, has himself a shield. Here comes Nocturne as well, and Nocturne, neither of our junglers actually ganking with red.
It's kind of interesting, but also as well, it is just, you know, they want to make this lane over top lane just snowball super fast. Cho'Gath going to go for his red buff, while we might see a blue gank right over here. I mean, a gank over in middle right now.
Yeah, Katarina's actually pushed up really far, but so is Lockster. He's actually taking a lot of damage as well. Look at that. A little bit of extra in that top. One more tower shot, and Bella could be in some bad situations, but I think she's just going to be able to out-bully him in this top lane. Again, I've just never really seen a Nautilus do well. Ignite going to go off as well, but he gets tossed in with that anchor. Flash coming out, and look at that. As I said, Lockster able to outplay the Spider, going for that first blood. Fusionistic, however, in the mid is going to be dropping, giving that red now to Mr. Dragonman, and that red is now taken away on Gillette. Gillette going for the kill on top of Mr. Buff is not going to grab it, and that means a double kill for our jungle Nocturne.
Unfortunately for now, that counter gank was just super solid. Cho'Gath was going in for that gank over at mid. Fortunately, Gragas was there. Nocturne was there ready and waiting. That top play by Nautilus, though, that was one of the secure kills right there. So great job baiting it out. You know, at least kind of thinking the same thing. Nautilus is not going to get me killed or give me any damage. And unfortunately for not just using that utility, plus on top of that, using the tower's damage, securing that kill, getting that first blood.
I mean, the repel can only block at most, what, 2 tower shots. It almost looked like she died as she was coming down, which means, to me at least, that the tower still had aggro on her. Which is maybe intentional, maybe not. That's just what it seemed to me. Maybe, of course, misread that situation. But hey, Lockster coming out 1-0. Has 7 creeps to his name, but that's alright. He has a kill to go with it.
I mean, 9-17, it's not that bad and not the end of the day for him. Although he kind of needs probably some goal for 10s and some other goodness to help him out. Do you see Fusionistic coming to him in the bottom, but UG Matt and also Susan Hecky going to be backing away from this just because they pushed already a little too far.
Yeah, we do have those wards in there as well, so Vision was acquired. No gank bottom lane, but still, it almost looks like Crixade and Ryokan are just getting pushed on back to their tower. In terms of the last hits, Caitlyn is winning out a little bit, 33 to the 26, but we also now have that Fusionistic down there. Oh, could this be a kill on top of the Suijin Heki? And I want to say no after that whiff.
Yeah, I just feel like Matt and everybody's just gonna try to get as much as they can. Really weird spectator bug, I think. But do you see an assist on Caitlyn and also on Nunu?
On Caitlyn and Nina, yep,
Yeah.
0-1. That
Yeah,
is strange.
I don't think they did anything to get kills or anything. So, yeah, we'll see what will happen with the gold score and
What
stuff.
is going on with spectator? It was fine this morning.
Yeah, no, I
Huh.
totally don't know.
Strange. 0-0-1. What could they? The only people that have died is everyone in mid lane or higher. Huh. Yeah, that
Yeah.
is that's a good point, sir. Good point. All right, ignore those assists, guys. Maybe actually when we can finally put a score there, they'll actually update accordingly.
Hopefully.
They don't have any globals.
Yeah, I don't know. We do see the pressure again. Quicksave didn't take a lot of damage, and it's just because Caitlyn can just poke really hard, and on top of that, the snowballs are just going to go right into the face of Ezreal, so Ezreal's just not going to have a good day. And actually, he's about to bring it down from here. Does miss off on that Q, and we didn't see the Ignite go on to Ryoken, unfortunately for not hitting onto Caitlyn. I mean, onto Ezreal.
Would it have killed Ezreal, though? I mean, he still has that full bar, 143 hit points. I'm not too sure that an Ignite would have gotten the kill, but still, maybe smart casting sometimes just does not work it the way you want it to.
Probably not, but yeah, I definitely don't think it was the kill. But we do see the gank over mid. Fusionistic actually taking a little bit too much time trying to go for that gank, and we see Dragon right in the same little spot trying to get that kill, and actually Bellerock got a kill over top lane.
Yeah, Bellerock actually got the Repel Ignite combo off that round. No repeat performance there from the Lockster, so unfortunate for him. 1 for 1 now in that top, but still, Elise, she started off really strong with that. A lot of pressure coming in against that Nautilus, but still, 1 for 1 trade out, and look at the creeps. I mean, they have kind of evened out. She's going to pull ahead a little bit here simply because she can shove that lane right in, but I gotta say, commendable job so far from the Nautilus top.
Yeah, he had a little bit of an advantage, and although he didn't really build anything of a damage item for this Elise, but damage is not really the thing that you really need for that Nautilus. He was now building into a dagger. I don't know what's going to be coming soon. Maybe a static shiv, he's pushing lanes. This is really interesting, and this is definitely a first time for me to actually see maybe a Trinity Force coming out from Lockster.
I'm just racking my brains a little bit. I do recall something of an attack speed critical strike Nautilus back in the day, because with enough attack speed and just storing around that anchor of his, he just kind of spasms out when he starts attacking you. It's like he just kind of flails about and then you're dead because he's just attacking so fast. Could be something of a throwback to something like that.
Possibly. I mean, he is using Titan's Wrap, which is usually the thing you would actually upgrade on Nautilus because you can bait so much more of everything just with that shield. But yeah, it's really interesting to see what Nautilus is going to build. I'm really inquisitive of this Nautilus. Hopefully, we'll see some good things come out. While we do see Bellerock trying to maybe go in for a gank or just try to farm up over that top lane.
Mid lane Gillette still going hard onto Mr. Buff. That's the second Death Lotus I've now witnessed that have not really resulted in anything, but hey, she's still putting up that pressure. In terms of the mid, she's up 10 creeps, but Gragas so far has been able to weather the storm. Lockster going all in against Bellerock top. That anchor coming out as well. And did he throw out the ultimate? No, it was down. The depth charge was not ready to go, but it is going to be Dragonbang actually found out here in the Tribush against Fusionistic. Bella's going to come in. Dragon's actually going to drop really low, flashing on out, but the repel is too good at this point. Fusionistic is going to live at least a little bit longer. Lockster able to take him down, but we did not get that red on top of Lockster. It is going to be on top of Bell. Does not matter. He pulls her in close. Here comes Katarina with the Shunbo. Is going to be a kill for him, and now Gragas looking for the kill on top of the Spider. Is not going to grab it. Instead, he's going to get ignited and dropped extremely low here from Gillette. And my god, 18 hit points separated Bellerock from death there.
As such an unfortunate circumstance, Gragas hitting that all onto Elise, but hitting it on the wrong way made Elise just escape just a little bit longer. Unfortunately for not also Katarina with that rotate, did get a kill off of that. Got blue buff as well, or is actually, yeah, it got blue buff as well from the Nautilus, so not looking too good for Ultimate Gaming right there. Just traded off some kills and just did not make it happen. Although they did pick up Fusionistic, I don't think that was totally worth it.
Fusionist, yeah, he lost his jungle buffs, but you know, look at our top and look at our bottom. 3 kills, 1 assist for Elise, and a 1-1 for Katarina, and both of them already have Haunting Guises.
Yeah, it's not looking too well. I mean, technically, when you do play Katarina against Gragas, Gragas can do a pretty good job with that matchup, but Katarina just has so much answer with that. Shimpo can just go over barrels and not take any damage from that. So that matchup was kind of just hard from the start. Even though they did get a kill lead on top of that, it wasn't really a kill lead for Gragas, it was a kill lead for Nocturne, and unfortunately for not, we're going to see the trials from that.
Oh man, Loxer actually threw his anchor out into Elise and actually still came away in the wrong hit point end of things. But look at this big gank coming down south. We do got the 4-on-4 ready to go. Gillette's going to take a pilt over, but that's okay. She still has that blue. Elise has bullied out our Nautilus. He had to go back to town for that, but still the pressure is mounting bottom lane, just going right through all of those traps. Mr. Buff's still able to throw barrels seemingly undergrounds and forests. And I always thought that was kind of weird.
I mean, you can go through anything with that buff. I mean, with that barrel. I mean, yeah, that's pretty good and solid. And we do see UG Dragon trying to go on to Gillette and say, Katarina, I can poke you right back and just say Katarina a few times and win out. Really quickly again, Zeal was bought by Nautilus, so this is really interesting seeing this top lane work out the way it is.
Sujin Heki gonna find Fusionistic here in the forest. Oh my god, look at that feast go down. Sujin just has to get out of dodge. He's not exactly the healthiest that he was looking for. There goes the barrel as well. Did miss the second one on top of Gillette. The Ignite, however, has been ticked down, and Fusionistic looks to be okay. I saw a True Shot Barrage go out, but a double kill coming out for Tarek. Did he flash in for that Tarek? Yeah, he did. He flashed in, got the Shatter and the Radiance combo, gets himself a double kill, and with that True Shot Barrage, a few assists here from Ezreal as well. So 0-0-2-2-0 for your support. Not exactly where you want the kills to land, but hey, a nice 2-for-0 exchange at the end of all things.
He got himself 1,300 gold, just banking it in. Carry Tark gonna be here for the win. Unfortunately for not, yeah, the Radiance combo on top of that Shadow just did a little bit too much damage. Unfortunately for the team of Ultimate Gaming, that doesn't matter because they still got the kills down, and they also got Dragon as well to boot. Man Cave Gamers now taking a 2k gold lead with 2 kills up.
Now top lane Loxer, as you said, he did have that Zeal first, so again, I'm thinking more it's a crit attack speed kind of build. We're going to have to see where he wants to go with it. Maybe it's going to be a static shift for all I know. But he just cannot trade whatsoever against Bellerock this top lane. And look at his tower. It is going to be dropping in a matter of moments. Oh my god, still the damage landing on top of Loxer from here. He's going to get that shield out. The Repel is going to come by. Is not going to get a Fear Tether. In fact, she's going to jump on top of Loxer. Here comes Dragonmang as well. Just going to be trying to get that Anchor Kite off. Yo, that's not so good. There's so much damage landing on top of him, and she's going to be able to grab that kill. Here comes Gillette as well, and Dragonmang is forced to get out of town, and by that, he's going to be exiting in a coffin. Oh my god, that was so much burst, Bird.
Yeah, it looks like Gragas wants to say hello to this as well. Gets to get stopped down by the catch. And here we go with ult going down. Bellerock going to be taken away. No, he will flash away barely from that barrel. But we do see Ultimate Gaming do take that bottom lane turret. So that's a good trade-off. Yeah, I don't know. There's just not enough damage output coming up from this Nautilus. And when Nocturne tried to go up there and top, tried to go secure that kill on Elise, I mean, Katarina again just rotates down and just takes another kill.
Ryokin going hard on top of Matt in this bottom lane. We got an Absolute Zero coming out with that Arcane Shift down. That's going to be a beautiful kill for Sujin Heki, and now Ryokin not looking so good. Matt is going to be blood boiled here. We're looking for one more Ice Cap, but it's going to be the Piltover instead. It's a nice double kill bottom. I gotta say, the only thing really we got in terms of the lanes going for UG is this bot lane. A nice slow coming down. Fusionistic still gonna be looking for the kill here on top of Matt. Is gonna be whiffing that rupture. Hasn't really landed any of those clutch ruptures coming in, but a nice flash and fear tether for Dragon Matt. Unfortunately, Gillette's gonna come in here, clean up, gets the one kill, gets the double, looking for the triple on top of the Dragon Man, but will not grab it. But still a nice 2 kills to her name in that bot lane.
The Andrew's tournament, the Katarina made a really nice play to just assassinate the Caitlyn, who just got a kill as well, so got an extra little bit of gold. Now at about 2k gold right there. probably actually going for a death cap right straight from it, not actually going into anything else from there.
Yeah, well, there's the needlessly large rod. Ballarot coming to say hi to Mr. Buff. A little bit low on mana. This will relieve a bit of pressure up top for Lockster. And again, Lockster maybe not the healthiest in terms of the kill-death ratio, but he has been keeping up with the last hits. He's 77 to the 87. Can only imagine that the attack speed is helping him out there. And he has a health crystal. So I got to ask you, Mr. Bird, health crystal and a Zeal, does that make a static?
No, it does not. It's Eversblade and Zeal.
Eversblade?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a Trinity Force. I think that's what he's going to go for, then go straight tanky.
Okay. Not nearly as exciting.
Yeah, not nearly as exciting. Actually, it's probably not a great build right now. We do see damage coming out. Gillette doing so much damage to UG Matt just from the Shimpo on top of one shot from Death Lotus. And we do see this knife down from that true shot barrage as well. Great job by Ezreal following up on that. Katarina can't be stopped, and Katarina right now at 3-2-3 is actually a pretty low score for Katarina, just trying to get kills, but it's going to be Katarina time, and it's going to be Katarina just doing a lot of Katarina things.
Well, the Nautilus has, you know, that knock-up silence. We also got the Fear Tether. We got the giant barrel. I mean, we should be able to stop these Death Lotuses, but still, so far, Katarina has been putting out so much damage in this top lane. And now that the top tower is down, Mr. Buff, unfortunately for him, on the wrong side of things, is going to drop to that Death Lotus. There's like no friggin' cooldown on it. My God. 52 seconds, and of course, every time she kills something. Not looking good. UG Dragonmang actually out of action, but still, 12 to 8 is looking good for the Man Caves going into the 20-minute.
Yeah, Man Cave is kind of getting to a really good point in the game where Katarina is pretty strong. And I mean, I'm not going to say that it's solo queue kind of thing, but you know, once you have that AP mid kind of rolling along a little bit better, on top of that, your top lane kind of, I mean, it kind of evened out, but still it's at a really good place, 5-1-1. It's just not going to be really good. Ultimate Gaming has to really group up together, try to get some kills on Katarina, and on top of that, maybe even Ezreal and Elise. There's just a lot of things that you're going to be asking for, and not a lot of time left for Ultimate Gaming to do it, because once they hit about the 22-23 minute mark, I mean, Baird's even a possibility right now just because of how much items, how much damage they have altogether for Man Cave gamers.
I'm just taking a quick look here through Elise. If anyone's not really familiar with her, you can just see some of the skills here, but she has herself a Glacial Shroud. Yep. She's
good. Sorry.
she's looking to just kind of get in the thick of things. I mean, that's the only thing I can really see. She's noticed that we're not going AP on Nautilus. He's going attack speed. So what's her response? Let's get an armor item that's going to reduce your attack speed.
Yeah, exactly, and I think it's actually going to be Iceborne Goblin still, because there is a amplified term paired up with that. So overall, I feel like she's going to be really strong until like the next 2 minutes of play. I mean, the only thing that's really not working for Man Cave gamers is bottom lane. Ezreal's a little bit behind the Caitlyn, but once you have 3 of the 5 members like settled and separated and ready to go, Ezreal can have a little bit of free time just to kind of catch himself up.
Dragonmang just going to be dropping down to half. Here goes Gillette, though, with that Anchor Fear Tether going in as well. She will drop, but at the same time, Nocturne going down. The True Shot Barrage not going to be hitting anyone, and it will end up being a 1-for-1. The kill, strangely enough, going to Nautilus, of all people. But here comes UG Matt from the bottom lane. Are they going to be able to save down this tower? I don't think we actually have any of those ultimates left. As I say that, out goes the cask, just separating all the groups here from the Man Cavers, but still not a favorable transition for them as they do drop to the 1. Bellorock just going to get in front of everything there, and down goes that turret. So Caitlyn, you might try your best here, but oh, this could be bad. She gets hit by that snare, and now 3-on-1. She does drop. The Repel going to be saving Spider-Woman once more. The turrets not able to take Crixade. Gillette now back in town, but Lockster going to be living out of that one. And there you go, Iceborne Gauntlets. Next pickup for release.
Yeah, I mean, she's just going to be a really big nasty house. Just going to capture everybody into that spider's web, and there's nothing you really could do about it. I mean, Nocturne's right now going to try to chase onto Fusionistic. Don't think that's the smartest idea, because Katarina is just roaming around, waiting for that opportunity time and chance. Ultimately, Ultimate Gamer Ultimate Gaming had a really good start with that fight, trading that 1-for-1. They got the Katarina, and Katarina was just up in the open, just wanted to get the kill. Ended up getting killed instead, and unfortunately for that, it came in the Nautilus to actually get the gold, but still, that was a really good trade. Once they started fighting again, though, they were down in damage, they were down in health. They shouldn't have fought that team fight because that was just really ultimately bad for them.
Could be bad news bears for Fusionistic. No Fear Tether coming out from him, but the Anchor will reset his positioning a bit more towards Lockster. The damage comes out from Dragon Man. He's not going to be able to grab it. The Death Lotus instead coming out. Had he not gotten away at that moment, one more Death Lotus I think would have been able to take him down. So Katarina once again just showing her prowess. But here comes Mr. Buff. Oh, what a great flash out of the Fusionistic. Forces that barrel to actually get wasted. And now Katarina, very confident, is going to be chasing them after 3-on-1. Well, she doesn't know that. It's only 2-on-1. Gillette, however, I don't know. Is she going to be able to kill Lockster?
Red team has slain the dragon.
I don't think it really mattered, just because I think Mancave wanted to get that the damage from that dragon, so that dragon was secured pretty easily. Again, they took the turret, so that's really cool as well. But the only thing is, Gillette probably could have gotten more kills right there if she actually kept it going, because yeah, Nautilus used up his ultimate depth charge on top of that, used up his Q as well, and there was about a 2 to 3 second window where Katarina would have had a really fun time doing Death Lotus and tons of damage to that Nautilus.
So Katarina, as you said, with that straight death cap at the 20-minute mark, Haunting Guy's death cap, tier 2 boots, and a blasting wand on top of things. She's looking to be in absolute perfect form. 533, 129 creep. She has a lot of gold under her belt, but I'm a little bit more afraid of this Elise at this point. 722 now with the Iceborne on top of that Haunting Guys. She's only going to keep getting stronger.
Both Katarina and Elise are going to be building up on Leandre's tournament right now, or actually, Elise is going to change it up just a little bit, but in general, both of them have enough damage output just to burn down everything that is resistant for the team just because of the double Haunting Guys. Haunting Guys just alone is a really good item, health, magic penetration, such like that, but oh my gosh, UG Matt just having to flash away, gonna have to use his E to try to get out of there, but he's gonna get ignited down, then taken out from there. Gillette picking up an easy kill right there onto a really unfortunate mess positioned Caitlyn.
Once again, just seeing that extreme burst coming out, and not entirely too sure what Caitlyn was doing that far forward. We did have some vision there of the river. I'm not too sure it was the right vision. So we do have vision in that bush, however, so we are going to see Fusionistic and Ryokan coming in here. The pressure is going to be mounting mid, while Ezreal in the bot lane is going to be able to take that tower, no problem. In fact, he's just going to farm under it while the creeps do his work for him. Now, he has the blue buff, if you noticed, that Ezreal bottom lane, but he does not have that infinity edge, so you can see that he is a bit more behind Caitlyn than he'd like to be.
Yeah, that's the only thing that Ultimate Gaming does have. They don't have anything on Ezreal yet as a damage connection, so it would be a perfect time to just kind of push up. You know that Ezreal's going to be backing up just a little bit, try to push up into the mid turret, provide some pressure, because ultimately, as you just give more time to the team of Man Cave gamers, they're just getting more items mean they can do more damage, and unfortunately for enough, they are just super ahead right now as in damage items, so Ultimate Gaming does need to make some plays. I don't think they're going to actually do this right now. Caitlyn's going to go farm up bottom while they're going to be taking blue for Ultimate Gaming.
So a little bit maybe of a farming period going to be coming in. 22 minutes, 11 to 17, so we have had more than one kill a minute, and it does look like the Man Caver's up about 5,000 gold. That's a pretty decent, a decent gold lead. Nothing revolutionary, but nothing to scoff at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be okay pretty much for the time being. I feel like Man Cave gamers could pretty much push up into the mid second turret probably within the next 2-3 minutes. Once Ezreal, well, he just completed Infinity Edge, so this could actually be an opportune time for him to just push on with the team right now.
At the same time, Gragas picks up a Rabadons, and again, I'm looking at the item build of that Nautilus. He, I think, has forgone the Trinity for now because he has an extra Negatron cloak.
Yeah, he has the Negatron, but he has no prevention for armor, even though he has innately the armor prevention with his runes. I mean, runes and masteries will only do so much for your lane matchup, and with Ezreal now with an Infinity Edge on top of that, he's going to have a pretty good amount of chunk of damage that he can do right towards the 2 minutes of tankiness of the team of Lockster. So Yeah, this is not looking so well. I would like to see a random range open on, or not random range open, a bulwark, so runic bulwark on something, maybe Nunu or even a Nocturne. But unfortunately for not, Ultimate Gaming is going to go in with this without really a tank.
Are they going into this Baron, or are they going into this pressure? Because they do see Ezreal bottom, and at the same time Cho'Gath is actually back in town as well, but it's not going to be a Baron attempt quite yet. Does look like a little bit of an invade. So if they can catch someone here with that invade, it could be a nice opportunity to make something happen. And unfortunately, Elise does kind of blow the lid on their plan.
Yeah, the Spider going to be out to just see, and now this is the re-engage from the team of Man Cave Gamers.
Yep, putting down that ward, and they didn't kill it, believe it or not. The ward actually still there. So, yep, no face checking here, no double lift syndrome today. We are checking out all the different wards, and that's exactly what a Ruby Sightstone is going to be useful for in these kind of situations.
It's really interesting to see Man Cave Gamers not really pressing upon it. They have such an advantage, but they just want to play this a little bit passively and actually try to force them out and try to do a Baron possibly. I feel like Man Cave Gamers could have just forced the fight, gotten a like 5-for-2, and then just win it out. But the thing is, I guess they're worried about Gragas' separation with the ultimate. If they can burst down Gragas' ult, the explosive cast really early, they can pretty much win this fight without a question. Like the only thing that they would have to worry about is depth charge, and depth charge again, not doing the most damage. Even though it does have a Sheen proc with it, it's not going to be something to really worry about, truthfully, in a team fight.
In terms of the poke from both sides, I mean, we have some pretty decent poke. I'd say about the same level of poke on either side, because we got Piltovers, we got barrels, we got snowballs, and at the same time we got mystic shots coming out, spider bombs, ruptures, bouncing blades. So we could just devolve this into somewhat of a poke war, just try to focus one down and try to get that hit point advantage. But as you said, I mean, I really expected to see something happen with that invade, but it was just kind of the deadly move of chess, just slow and steady wins the race.
You see Fusion is going to take a little bit of pelted damage. They're going to see Nautilus's popped up, but again, Nautilus not the target that they want to really target down. UG Dragonbang wants to go in on this. I don't know if he wants to just go in and try to steal it. He won't steal that dragon. And we do see Mr. Buff actually going to be ruptured up. Yeah, I don't know what Man Cave Gamers is wanting to do. They just think they want to just play passively and just push all the way through.
Well, they are definitely mimicking the #1 NA team, CLG. They're definitely #1 known for passive play.
They are just poking that way. I mean, they have Cho'Gath, so I think that works too, right? I mean, Nidalee, Cho'Gath. What else is not hotshot play? That Jace maybe even as well. So yeah, all of it together is really good for the team of Man Cave Gamers. Yeah, I mean, they just are taking so many advantages, and they're going to get this out on the GG Matt so easily.
Oh, man, what was Matt doing up there? The repel is not even going to get down to that, but Bellorak able to pick up the kill, and a little bit of a misstep. There you go, pawn takes king right there, 11-18 as the score. So, I don't know, that just seemed painful to watch. Poor Matt.
I mean, once you get caught by one of the CCs from the team of Man Cave Gamers, the second CC followed up, Rupture is just super strong. I mean, do you see damage coming out? Loxer taking a bit hit. All those are casting actually miss offline, and Bellorak still chasing on the Dragon Main. Actually going to catch Mr. Buff. Mr. Buff is going to try to get away. Going to use that body slam to get out of there, and yeah, no kills going to be blown, but everything blown for the team for Ultimate Gamer. They do not have anything other than probably one flash or two just to save themselves.
So it might have been a 5-on-4, and it might have looked like that UG was able to escape the wily clutches of death today, but still, they got to remember, Caitlyn did go down, and because of that aggression that the Man Cave Gamers were able to bring to it, mid-tower is now dead in the water. Bellorak just going straight for this top tower as well. Cares nothing about the damage
Turrets
coming out of it, yeah.
Yeah, if he had Ownwrecker, maybe it would have worked out a little bit better. He was trying to use the spiders to actually try to bait it out. I do see Sidneki, you're going to be taken down really easily. Exhaust going down on Gillette. Gillette's still going to be able to kill onto Newton, but Newton's still going to be able to get the kill. And we do see the trade-off 2-for-1 actually, because Bellorak took a little too many shirt shots from that top lane, and now we're going to see the re-engage of Ultimate Gaming.
So 19-13. Oh, nice knock up there. But yeah, Bellarok finally down, Gillette finally down. I would say that's definitely a win for UG. But I'm a little afraid of rubber banding at this point. You know, if they push in too far with this advantage for too long, you know, we are going to get those respawns. Then you know, we could just see exactly what we saw last time, where we get that big aggression from Man Cavers again.
And that's kind of the thing Ultimate Gaming has to watch out for. They can actually just get some really good trades in the jungle, catching up without taking any kills. They're going to be able to do so much more. Plus, they're going to get some more gold as well. Right now, this is probably the decent amount of play until both Gillette and Bellarok come into the play in the middle, and now they're shouldn't be back away. So, very solid play by UG Ultimate Gaming overall. Just feel like they had to do that probably 5 more times and had to kill onto Katarina and Elise really fast to just get more and more wins.
And well, 37k to the 44. If they can consistently do that, sure, we might have a little bit of a gold race. But at this point, it is just so far, just the Man Cave is so far in front. You were talking about Leandries earlier. Well, I don't see one quite yet, but I do see a Void Staff as well as a Rylai's, and now some physical armor coming up for Elise. I'm very interested to see if we're going to see a Zhonya's.
Yeah, Zhonya's are probably wow, I can't remember the name. Guardian Angel right now. Yeah. Really interesting they didn't want to button in Leandri's tournament because, again, that burn passive is just so much on top of how much AP you have. I would think that they would secure more kills overall. I think more for Elise than it is for Katarina. Katarina could build like anything literally right now and just do enough damage to kill everything. So, yeah, really interested to see that Leandri's tournament not being built for either team member, but they still have it pretty much in mind just because of the magic penetration. More damage, all goodness from there.
Yeah, look at that Nautilus Banshee's Veil, and you know, a little bit more of a response there from the Dragon Mang as well. He does have that Hex Drinker, so you can see the theme of Magic Resist kind of coming through. We don't have an Aegis quite yet on Taric. That's a little bit surprising to me because he's 3/2/2. I guess he is a little bit more gold starved. He has been you know, dewarding a little bit with these oracles, and as you saw, I mean, 10 gold was the pop-up there. Those sentry wards just not worth nearly as much anymore. But he does have 7,300 gold over top of this Nunu, but still, it feels like Nunu is just richer at this point.
It feels like it just damage output should be enough, but Sujinaki, you're such a dead Nunu, getting picked up by Bellarok, just biting down with that Spider Worm. You see UG Dragon Man trying to get out of there, gets Field Shield down, but he's going to get exhausted. Nice little explosive cast to re-engage and get the fight, and we'll see if UG Dragon Man can stay alive.
Oh man, that True Shot Barrage actually just clipping him as well. Gillette going in with that combo and is going to be able to grab it, but she does drop to UG Matt. Nice pilt over there at the end. Mr. Buff running for his life. Does look like he's going to be okay, but it's going to be Nautilus paying for it. And you know, he's kind of tanky, but even under tower, I mean, those towers just really not hurting the enemy team that much. So we're still getting these slows going out. Caitlyn now joining the party as well. Fusionistic not going to be able to solidify the kill, but look at that ensnare come in, and now UG Matt has to use that net just to get on out of dodge. A little bit of damage returned onto Bella, but still, I think that's going to end up being a 2-for-1 because we had Nunu die in the beginning of all that. So still, a little bit more of an advantage being created here for the Man Cave gamers.
If anything, Ultimate Gaming took away from that is that Man Cave gamers are playing it really too aggressively. They need to just push up together as a team, and unfortunately for that, they took a lot of bit of damage. So this is a great time to try to take this Baron because there is nothing they can really do. Because truthfully, Man Cave gamers needs to help heal up. Bellarok then come in, try to put some harass down. But Barons would be the top pick for Ultimate Gaming.
Oh man, it actually hit Mr. Buff. I would have really liked to see you get hit by that, Mr. Nautilus, with your Banshee's Veil. Oh, actually it did. It hit them both as well. Or the active component on that is... Oh, I see what the unique passive is doing. Okay, never mind. Bellarok, however, still having to contend with this 3-on-1 situation. In comes Ace in the hole. Going to go straight past this tower. And UG Dragon Man is able to grab that one. What's going on down here? It is going to be UG Matt, not looking so healthy. He's trying to escape the clutches of Ryoken. It does look like he's going to successfully get away for now, but oh, just dodging out things, no problem. Ryoken, however, will be able to grab that kill. Other things going around. Ezreal is now down in the water. UG Dragon Man 2-on-1 is going to be able to spell shield, I think, that Feast, and now with that flash as well as the speed up, looks like he will be able to get out of this one. And Sujinaki actually alive as well. Gillette now back to the party. Oh my god, Gillette's looking so strong with that Zhonya's now. And Sonya's coming out from Mr. Gragas as well. So by the end of everything, 2 for 2.
I mean, good trade overall together. Great job by especially in that piece, because that would have been a dead Nocturne right over there. Overall, I think we're going to see another take for this tower. There's no way Nocturne can really protect that by himself. So overall, a really good trade for Man Cave Gamers, just because they got some global gold on top of that. Some denials above as usual. But the biggest thing is Katarina didn't get touched during that whole pretty much engagement. And Katarina now with, like you said, Zonia's, and on top of that, the Hunting guy is probably going to be building into something more healthy. Or even switch it over to just a Rylai's Crystals out there. And just dangerous work Gillette's coming in right now, especially level 18, 229 CS, 953 on the kill score.
So again, looking at this Banshee is just as a little bit of a post commentary on it. Gain a spell shield that blocks the next incoming ability, refreshes after you haven't taken damage from champions in 25 seconds. That's a little bit of a nerf compared to last season.
I mean, it's 60 seconds from the last one when he just automatically got it back every 60 seconds. 25 seconds, that's not that bad, but if you're going to go be in a pretty much a team fight situation pretty much the whole time, and if you take damage from Dragon or take damage from Baron, that's a magic proc as well. So unfortunately for not, it's up and down. It's up and down. You get a little bit faster of a CD, but you have to be out of combat to pretty much do it.
Yeah, it's just more of those extended team fights that I've actually been seeing more and more of here in Season 3. It's like, 25 seconds might sound like a nice short period of time, but after, 60, 70, 80, and you're still just kiting around fighting each other, you kind of maybe wish that you had that 60-second guaranteed cooldown sometimes. All right, so still 35 minutes in. Not as many kills on the board as I would have liked. I mean, 39 kills in 35 minutes. We are just kind of farming up. In terms of the creeps, 35 minutes in, there's nobody even close to the 300 mark. It's going to be Katarina at 242. As you said earlier, 953 to mirror that at least 943. I don't know. Caitlyn just has kind of like felt that she's dropped a bit in terms of just that damage output.
And that's the thing about Caitlyn, you still have that kind of strong mid game, but once she gets to late game's not as much, just because everything has so much more damage output, and Caitlyn's just not as mobile, not as quick as many of the other AD carries in the game. I mean, especially with Ezreal on there. It's just unfortunate for not. That Caitlyn can't really do too much other than try to pelt her away with the team, hopefully giving some protection as a meat shield.
And she does have, of course, the Nunu with the Blood Boils, so, I mean, she is able to pump out some damage, but it just feels like as soon as she gets caught, this team just insta-gives her. And, at a 4, 6, 7, she was our hope here for UG. She was winning her lane very handily. There goes the ensnare on top of Nautilus. Nautilus doesn't care at this point. He's fairly tanky enough to shrug off the damage, but still, looks like, this concentrated 5-man pressure bot lane just decimating that creep wave. And there's no red for them to here to steal. I think they've already taken it with both Crixade took it top. I think Matt, had the other one.
Yeah, it seems like pretty much there's no more buff control they can have for Man Cave Gamer. So truthfully, I think it's a perfect time to try to do some Baron, especially because you have that consume/feast with that Cho'Gath. So overall, if you feel like Baron should be a take by, I mean, even then, they can just keep on pressuring mid, they can keep on pressuring top, and no matter what, really, UltimateGaming can't really do too much about these 5-man pushes.
Huh, that was interesting. I actually wanted to see if we had vision of a Baron or a possible attempt for UltimateGaming, and they don't, but when I hid the fog, or when I hid the vision from Team 2, Ezreal was still there. Huh. Strange things happening with this
spectator mode. I mean, it happens after some big overhaul to climb patches, so I mean, I'm not surprised at it. I don't know if it'll get fixed up probably till like when preseason 3 is pretty much done and season 3 patches are pretty good. We do see the pressure over at this bottom inhibitor turret. UG Matt farming up as much as he can, clearing up some wards over there as well, using pink wards. And meanwhile, Bellawak will be doing the mid pressure as well. So great little split push by Man Cave Gamers. They can keep on doing this, but Gillette caught down could be the point of contention.
Oh, we're going to get an anchor to the face. There goes the cask as well. Zonia's going to get pretty much knee-jerk reaction there. Ace in the hole. gonna get blocked out. Yeah, no kill there on top of Gillette. But oh, good Nocturne actually be going for it. His Paranoia is not gonna be strong enough. But Bella Rock maybe in some trouble. A nice repel. It's just such a massive range on that repel. Just able to get out of those sticky situations. Loxer doesn't care. He's gonna come in here to Rio Ken. Gotta get that Silence Feral Scream coming off, but does not matter. And looks like we're just gonna be able to back off. No real damage going down except on top of Gillette. So she is absolutely gonna be heading on home.
Yeah, he had to use up that flash. He had to use up Zion's as well. Great pick off by Nautilus actually getting that Q, the depth or the ridge line into that Katarina. So overall, great little pick off for Ultimate Gaming. I don't know if it's going to do too much else. We're going to see some wards coming out for the teams, both teams, Ultimate Gaming and MK Favors. Hopefully we can see some pressure again being taken. Katarina probably does not want to be in the front line next time though.
No, preferably you to keep your squishy assassins more in your pocket rather than they're out there in front of everyone. But and that's exactly what happens. I mean, they just get caught out. One wrong move. I mean, we saw this earlier. Like Caitlyn, for example, got ganked mid and pretty much just blown up because she's a squishy AD champion. She didn't have any protection, and because of that, we were able to exploit that fact, just as we did there on top of Gillette in that push. So 39 minutes, about to hit that 40 mark, 23-16. Still the gold lead coming out from the man cave, and a lot of items now actually getting finished off as well. We got a Guardian Angel on top of everything for Elise. We got that Leandri's Torment now on Katarina, and this is something I noticed a few minutes ago. We have a static Shiv on Ezreal.
Yeah, and a static Shiv versus Phantom Dancer, that's something that's going to be talked about for a while. Both give pretty good stats. Static Shiv with that split pushing ability. I feel like Static Shiv is actually the better choice into that because Phantom Dancer is a little bit nerfed. And we're actually taking and seeing a Baron take from Ultimate Gaming. I think this is going to end up pretty bad.
Yeah, it could be. It looks like Man Cavers are onto it. Baron is going to be dropping 3,000 health. Does not matter. Sujin Heki's down. We're going to get a kill on top of Dragonbang as well. Mr. Buff, however, not in the best of spots. And now Matt looks like he will be able to grab the one kill for his team. Baron actually still alive, not reset. 1,600 hit points and counting. There goes the smite, and there goes the Matt as well. So not only did they not get the Baron, they also got aced for their troubles, and the only person they took to the grave was Gillette.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for Nat, Ezreal kind of did a lot of damage. He got the great true shot barrage and 4 members of the team. Katarina did her thing being Katarina. The Death Lotus did so much as well right there. And unfortunately, they took so much damage from the start. Ultimate Gaming actually losing Nocturne to the Baron actually to their... Was actually going to get a kill on Katarina, but unfortunately wasn't that going to happen from there. And 5-for-1 Baron take, inhibitor take for Man Cave Gamers puts them in a really strong position to win this game.
Yeah, the timers are now ticking down, so looks like we're just going to keep on this objective control. Dragon, red buff, likely push out that bot lane a little bit, you know, steal some of this jungle as well. Ezreal's going to be firing off that true shot to the top. How many creeps is he going to get for his trouble? 2. It's a little hard to actually hit, you know, an advancing creep wave with that. But in goes the repel. Dragon, absolutely no chance of survival there. And Katarina's going to be coming back to the fight with a Guardian Angel of her own.
Yeah, and she built out Leandri's Torment to complete her 6-item build. Probably going to get some pottage as well.
That's a
Katarina, that's all I have to say. Oh Katarina. Really quickly, also, Ezreal slash... A lot of what Odd One said about Ezreal being a bad AD champion when everyone did know about Ezreal, the ultimate True Shot Barrage just never amounts to a lot of damage, truthfully. Unless you're just truthfully using it as a snipe onto like maybe like one character. It like barely does a thing to any minions as well when it's like at level 16, level 17. And that's why you see like only like 1 or 2 minions dying, because well, True Shot Barrage is kind of underwhelming, I would like to say.
No, for sure it is, and but at the same time, I mean, he was going back to town anyways. He had the blue buff; it's already back up and ready to go. So, if the choice between using it and getting 2 creeps and not using it and for no gain at all, I mean, sure, anybody that wants to min max will take the creeps. Anybody lazy won't bother. But you know, if you are in for these long hauls, these competitive games, you need to take every advantage you can.
It's surprising that he went Black Cleaver first instead of, or Black Cleaver right out of Static Shiv instead of Bloodthirster. I just feel like he needs more damage per se, but I mean, armor penetration, health, CDR, which is really good for some reason. Yeah, it worked out a little bit better for him overall in the long run, but still, it's preference of choice, I bet, between AD carries, especially now that Black Cleaver might get a nerf pretty soon.
Yeah, it might get nerfed, but at the same time, picking up one of them is still probably going to be the quote meta for a while, even if that passive does become unique. But either way, Gillette going to be eating a Piltover as well as that barrel. We're just going to kind of be poking down each other, and all you got to do is really wait. I mean, the Man Cave Gamers, they got that mid inhib down. Look at that bottom lane, it's also pushing. All they got to do is just wait for them to split off and defend.
Or they can just get hit by Katarina again, and great job by Bedrock, just showing up and doing so much more damage right behind on the lines. And though Gillette is going to go down pretty soon to that, oh wow, he's not actually on GA form, and he's going to actually get a kill. Oh my gosh, damage output just from the team of Belrock and Gillette alone secured this game.
Tower took her down, but that's why you have a Guardian Angel. So yeah, just proving the point that you don't actually need to wait, and they're able to get that ace for 0 anyways, even under that tower. Good game well played is coming out from both sides, as it does look like the Man Cave Gamers are going to be able to take a game today here in the Alienware Arena North American Week 3 winter season. 74,000 gold. That last fight put them at that 20,000 gold difference mark.
I mean, overall, you know, Ultimate Gaming had a chance, maybe an opportunity to try to catch from this game, but just from the start, with Battlerock getting some good stuff, with Gillette getting some good stuff from just roaming up the top lane, it's just unfortunate for Ultimate Gaming. Although it looks a little one-sided, Ultimate Gaming did have a chance to come back into it. They just had to play a little bit dirty, like call guerrilla warfare, try to get some grouping together and stuff. Unfortunately, they couldn't really do that, and Man Cave Gamers take the win today.
9.7 thousand gold is what we ended up here with Nautilus. I gotta say, that's gold starvation. 40-minute game and 44-minute game and 150 creeps. Not exactly the best in terms of the cash. He never actually did finish up that Trinity Force either.
No, he had the Ruby Crystal again, but unfortunately for that, it was not going to be enough. And he still needed to build armor as well, because yeah, even though Ezreal wasn't doing the most damage, he was doing enough to just give out more DPS, and it was just rough from the start. If he didn't snowball that Nautilus lane, there was just no way that Nautilus would be really much of a factor, unless he had Gold for 10 to actually help him out, because once he gets starved, he gets starved really hard.
Alright guys, so that's going to be League of Legends here today in the Alienware Arena Week 3 NA. I've been the FourCourtJester, with me from D Esports, Mr. Bird. It's been a pleasure, sir.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a fun cast I'm going to be doing right after this as well. So, yeah, it's always fun to cast a Jester. It's always really cool to be here for Alienware, and hopefully you guys follow up whenever you can.
Alright, so Bird, where can people find you out there on the interwebs?
Twitter.com/L3RD or Facebook.com/L3RD Gaming. I'm pretty sure you can find FourCourtJester anywhere and everywhere just by searching for FourCourtJester. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, anybody can find me out there. But you're already on my Twitch and you're already on my YouTube, so it's all good. Go check out Bird though. He's doing that the giveaways this Christmas, so you can get yourself maybe a little bit of a free swag as well, supporting a really awesome streamer. And that's going to be it for us tonight, guys. So next week, Thursday, looking for, again, EU and NA Alienware submissions. If I come a knocking on your game, you best be talking. Till then, guys, have a good League of Legends. Hopefully the patch won't hurt too much, as well as I Am Cologne this weekend. Give it up for that D-man. And I know I'm going to be having a good weekend. So I'll catch you guys later, and it's been fun.